muscles. But I got fired. COVID did a weird thing. So like, Austin is very heavy in the tech industry, and work from home was controversial pre-COVID. Many businesses flipped towards that model very quickly because they realized, okay, well, people got to be home. We can't have everybody in the office making each other sick. So they allowed work at home, and now that they've transitioned back, because
nobody wants to go back.
Exactly, because they realized they could do their work, but they could also stop and deal with their kid or whatever. You know, I had to run the store or something or whatever. And it's like, I don't think that businesses really looked at the expenses and related to commercial real estate. And the thing is, COVID, by pushing online methodology, I really wonder what it did to commercial real estate. And then if all this commercial real estate is available, nobody wants to rent it, does commercial real estate value go down? So brick and mortar overhead is less and less appealing over time to many people who run businesses. There's a reason why so many businesses like Soothe and Zeal pop up with apps, because they're cutting out the real estate portion, focusing on the digital side in some way.
Yes.
And I don't really know what that means to the massage industry, because massage therapists really esteem and value in-person connection. They constantly talk about essentially the brick and mortar thing, but the problem I've always had is I very quickly started to understand that it was a real estate game. Like, if you own the real estate, it's different. If they're paying your mortgage every month, your mortgage goes down, but your rent goes up. And that's one of the things that I think therapists are missing out on. If I ask them about brick and mortar, I go, cool, you're going to own the building? And they're like, well, no, I'm just going to rent. Like, they don't think about that piece.
Outside.
And I think that's a hidden piece about brick and mortar business running. And I know for a fact, like pre-COVID, if I had decided to open a brick and mortar pre-COVID, my business, I'd be bankrupt.
Right.
Because I would have signed into a lease, and then I'd go, Mr. Landlord, sir, I can't run an in-person business in the middle of a global pandemic.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. You know what? You bring up very good points, because all of that you're just talking about in regards to real estate and whatnot, that's exactly what I am researching right now. Real estate, I look at it, if you're going to own a business and you want to rent a bigger location, you're talking about 2,000 to 3,000 square feet of renting. You're looking at, $3,000 to $4,000. I think that's the market right now. I am right now myself looking to expand. I need more space. I need more session rooms. I have clients expressing that there's not enough space or availability because it's such a small office. But then I look at the real estate side, and being a business owner, you have to know money. At the end of the day, you have to, you've got to know your bottom line, right? If you're going to make it or not. So of course I'm going into looking at these offices to rent, and they're ridiculous, Robert. Here where I'm at, the landlords are not offering they're not doing any painting or any carpeting in the office, the building. So you're literally taking that office as is. Yep. If there's burnt marks on the carpet, that's your expense now.
What kind of rent were you looking at? If you're looking at a 3,000 square foot like space.
Okay,
can you give me an idea in El Paso?
Yeah, so there's one specific. It's about, let's round it up to 1,900 square foot. Landlord or owner was looking at $3,200 a month. Ridiculous. I know, because I have family that's in accounting and I have family that's in real estate in El Paso. So I actually get a little advantage over any other therapist, I think, because I get the best of both sides of these places. What I'm making in my business and how the real estate is working. So that's why I haven't jumped in and dived into a 3 to 4 thousand a month rent and then try to figure out what I'm going to do to pay that rent.
The way I look at it, and it's such a weird thing because, and you tell me, you have a family, it sounds like accounting and real estate, so this is confusing to me, and I'm out of my element. To me, let's say you bought a facility, you ran the facility, you're making money from the sessions that are delivered to pay the mortgage over time.
Right.
Then you get a second facility that you also purchase, you have a second mortgage. You do the same thing, you got 2 facilities. That's what we talked about earlier. Your retirement is the real estate. It's not massage.
Exactly.
Because once you own it outright and you're 70 and you decide, I'm tired, I think I want to move on, and you sell $1 million worth of real estate.
Yeah.
And that's where, like, I watched, you ever seen The Founder with Michael Keaton?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. That film really drove that, because I didn't know all that story. And when I watched it, I was like, I was like, dude, that's how oh my God. I had no idea. Wow. I was just blown away because it was such like a different way of looking at the business and what Ray Kroc was actually doing.
Yeah.
Where he understood that it was a real estate game.
It is. It is.